It's the last video in the tiny shitty little apartment, and I am not sad. I will not miss this overhead lighting. Yeah, so it's my last video. I don't know why I'm singing, but I'm very excited because tomorrow I'm going to pack up this little apartment with a few things that I brought over here in November. And then later this week, the rest of my stuff and furniture and everything is going to come over, and I'm very excited. So the next time I shoot one of these will probably be in my new apartment. So that's going to be awesome. I don't think that people understand. So when I moved over here in November, I had never been to Oklahoma City before. I moved over for work, and I did not know what neighborhoods to be in, etc. So I just wanted something that was furnished and would hold me and be safe for 3 months, and that's pretty much what I had, minus, you know, the bed bugs. So I'm going to give you a little tour. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, so here we have the door into the living room, into the bedroom and kitchen. There's a bathroom over there, very small. And then directly across from the TV, maybe 5 feet, is me on this little couch. And that is it for the apartment. So yeah, I'm excited to move and be in my own space. And I think that that's going to be awesome. So, you know, like I've been doing lately, I have some new products and then I have new products to me. And so it's going to be kind of a mix today. But I thought it would be fun to just try out some new things and make my last video here in the tiny apartment with the horrible lighting and the chair that's far too low for me. So I'm going to try to sit up straight. So my skin is so dry, so I'm going to use my Refer. What is this? This is the Intense Hydration Cream in number 1. 2 I use in the summer, in the hotter months. But right now, the thicker one is number 1, and it is thick, and it's probably still not thick enough for what my skin is doing right now. I got some of that in a sale recently, that Lisa Eldridge skin tint that everyone was raving about last year. It is gorgeous. I used it yesterday, but I forgot to moisturize before. And so by the end of the day, even that low coverage was not holding up because I had not put a base down of moisture. So I can only imagine if I had properly moisturized how beautiful it would have been. But that, you know, the Danessa Myricks one has always been my favorite skin tint. The Hourglass one's pretty good too. But there's something about the Lisa Eldridge one. It's thinner, it has less coverage, but it has the right coverage. Like, it covers your redness and makes your skin look really great, but you can't really tell you're wearing makeup unless you don't moisturize. And then you can tell because it kind of, you know, doesn't, it'll cling to dry patches, which is what happened yesterday. But next time I'll know. So let me grab my, where is it? My little Benefit brow pencil. So yeah, it's going to be a really busy week. Tomorrow I'm going to pack up this little studio here, which is about a car's worth of stuff that I had brought over with me in November. And then I've already started getting some deliveries and stuff at the new place. I'm sure they're not annoyed by that. But some furniture and stuff that I used to have in my house, but it was too big, so I had to reorder new sized furniture. I love that Benefit brow pencil. It's so easy. And then my furniture is going to be picked up in Fayetteville on Thursday. I have a friend who's going to watch that and help with that, and then they're going to bring it over here on Friday. So next weekend's going to be unpacking, and then I've got a handy person coming, you know, to build some of the stuff. So I'm really excited. I'm excited to have my makeup back. I've missed my motherships tremendously. I am excited to have my furniture, my stuff, and, you know, just be in your own space. It's hard when you don't feel like you're, you know, grounded. I grabbed the Natasha Denona Energizing and Hydrating Primer Serum And that's what I'm going to use as a primer because it's got a pretty glow to it. It reminds me a little bit of that Isamaya one that people really like. My best friend loves the Isamaya one. Which, by the way, did you notice that Isamaya has put everything on her website on sale for like 70% off, and it's pretty much gone? Now, those in the know who have been following along know that she is apparently moving into Sephora, and Pat is going online only with Sephora. That's going to be really interesting because I don't know that people in Sephora in, Des Moines are really going to like Dick lipstick, but she's going to have, I think what's happening and why everything's on 70% off right now is that she's rebranding it, probably to make it a little bit more approachable. I've always really liked Isamaya stuff. It's expensive and her packaging is hard to store. Because it's so ornate, and that's kind of the cool part about it. But I hope that they kind of figure out a way to make it a little bit easier to store when it moves to Sephora. Okay, so what do we have here? I'm going to wipe down my eyes and put on my trusty favorite primer, eyeshadow primer, if I can find it. See, this is the other thing. I'm so looking forward to the organization and being back in my stuff. It's my Rare Beauty one. Do you think that Selena Gomez is devastated this week that she did not get an Oscar nomination for Emilia Perez? She might be, but she has $1 billion, so I think it's okay. Has everybody seen Emilia Perez? That is a weird movie, and I can totally see why people in Mexico and people in the trans community do not like it. I like parts of it. I don't know that I really want to rewatch it again. It's a very strange movie. But the Oscars really bought into it. So it'll be interesting to see by the time the actual awards come around, how it does. So I have my Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Concealer Pen. And I'm just going to use that on a couple of little spots. I've really liked this for concealing redness and dark spots, but it is very pricey for the amount of product you get. What I will say is that Lisa does sales every so often, and when she does, they're really good. So I think, if you've been eyeing it, just wait until she does one of those sales, because it is a very nice product if you're not going to do any makeup, or if you want to do it under foundation to cover dark or red spots. I have a new foundation to try today. I don't know that I would call it drugstore, but I don't know that I would call it, like a Sephora level. I guess you'd call it Ulta level, but it's on the other side of Ulta, like the lower price side. And I found out about it from one of my favorite content creators, Patty Alonso, because she said she really loved it. And I've never tried anything from this brand. I've always been pissed at Halsey, who has About Face, which is the brand we're going to try, because she got to sleep with G-Eazy and I didn't. And so I've been bitter, but I've heard that her foundation is really great. So we're going to try it. Nice glass bottle. It's about 20 bucks. It's pretty amazing. Maybe 25. It's got a doe foot, which is kind of strange. The thing about doe foots is that when I'm done with it, I will wipe it off. I could have put it on the back of my hand and used a brush. And if it was Chanel or something really expensive like that, I probably would. But with the price, if I really like this, I'll just get another one. Now, Patty says that it reminds her of like a Pat McGrath. I don't know about that, but we're going to see. It has a nice texture. I used to think what is that one? I think it was also Patty who got me on. There's a drugstore foundation. Maybe it's from Revlon. Shit. I can't remember. Oh, it's the True Match. That was her favorite kind of lower priced foundation because it's about $15 a bottle. But she had been raving about this one. So I'm interested to try it. It is thin. It's got a pretty coverage. It's not really glowy, but that's why I put that Natasha Denona primer under it. It needs a little bit more coverage here. I would say that this is like light to medium. I don't know how I feel about the doe foot on foundation. It's probably not that sanitary, but if it works, it works. Oh yeah, that built up nice. Like I said, I've never used About Face, but this is a pretty good color match. For those who have kind of a similar skin color, this is, Wayne, can you read? There's the laundry. LN neutral, or LM neutral, light medium neutral. This is the Performer foundation. It's pretty nice, especially for the price. So I've got for my eyes today, I picked up during the holidays one of the Chanel liquid eyeshadows. This is from the permanent collection, so if you like this, grab it. This is one of the Ombré liquid shadows. This is in 32 Vastness. And then I thought it would go really well with Urban Decay has released a new Moondust, and this one is in Diamond Dog. So we're gonna put the two together and see what it looks like. If I'm not getting enough depth, I also have the Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt I can go in to darken up the corner with. Now I have heard that these Chanel liquid shadows dry down incredibly fast. So, in fact, I had someone had told me do one eye at a time. So that's what I will do. I grabbed at the holidays the Milky Way, the dark blue one. And I can't remember if it was Nordstrom or whom, but they had a sale and you had to hit a certain amount. So I went ahead and grabbed this one too. I have not tried these before. I think it was, shit, I can't remember her name. She's from Australia. Starts with an M. I watch her a lot on YouTube. Groundbreaking, I know. I can't remember. But anyway, she was saying these are her favorite liquid shadows. But you have to build them up, and you have to build them up in a way that's relatively quick because they do dry down really fast. Shit, what is that girl's name? She's always talking about, like, she's really funny because she's always apologizing and saying things like, well, if you don't like my taste, it's fine. Please don't be mean to me in the comments, which I'm like, who does that? Who's mean to somebody? I don't know, but she's really good. Okay, so this is a beautiful, like, taupey, metallic. Yeah. I don't mind it. I am going to clean it up a little bit with that Natasha one because it's hard to get the edges just right. I think if I kept applying it, if I wanted the sparkle, because it has like some subtle sparkle in it, I could, and it would build up that sparkle. But since I'm going to do that Urban Decay anyway, that's going to be the topper anyway. So, is it Mel? What is that girl's name? That's going to drive me crazy. She does really good swatches where she'll do them on her arm, and then she'll do like big swatches on the back of her hand. Oh, that's going to drive me bananas if I can't remember what her name is. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, this is pretty. I bet this is not going to be the easiest thing to come off, though. because it's a thin consistency, but it has a lot of coverage. I like that though. Okay, so I'm going to grab that Natasha Denona, which I kind of made fun of this when it first came out because I was like, why do we need another palette like this, even though it is all matte? But I use it a lot. It reminds me a little bit of the Pat McGrath one that I love so much, that velvet one. Can I move you down a little bit? Better. But I didn't bring that one because I didn't bring a lot of, you know, stuff. But it'll be here this week, so I'm very excited. Okay, so I'm going to grab the second color in here just to kind of blend in and also to blend the edge a little bit. And yes, I am still trying to figure out what that girl's name is. I really like her, which you would think that would make me remember her. I feel bad. You know what? I will, if I don't remember at the end of this video, I will put it in the thingy. So I'm going to go into the lightest color over here to go under my brow. It starts with an N. And then I'm going to do the same over here. And then I'm going to go on in the inner corner with that same color. That's nice. Let's go ahead and do concealer now. And I wanted to go with kind of a reasonably priced concealer because we did a reasonably priced foundation, which is still looking good. So that I'm impressed with. And so I grabbed a staple of mine, which I use almost every day for work because people can't necessarily clock that I'm wearing concealer. My favorite concealer really is probably the Gucci one, but this is a great substitute. It's the Tower 28, and this is in the color DTLA. Is it DTLA? I think it's DTLA. It's got a very similar consistency. It just doesn't have the powder finish that the Gucci one does, but it's a very thin consistency and it feels really nice under the eyes. Let me grab my, oh my god, I'm so looking forward to having my shit organized. As I'm sure you are if you watch my channel, because this is annoying as shit. Okay, well, I can't find my brush that I was looking for, so I'm just going to grab one of these Sonia Krushek brushes. Yes, I'm still thinking about what her name is. Okay. This is what happens in your 40s. Okay, so I just got some concealer on the top. I'm not overwhelmingly concerned about that because, like I said, I'm going to cover it. Okay. I will kind of even that out. Okay, so I've got this new Moondust from Urban Decay. This is in Diamond Dog. I love the Urban Decay Moondust shadows. They've done a couple of quads with them, and I really like those. I will say I think the formula is a little smoother in the singles. This is described as a taupe kind of brown with super shiny silver sparkles. So I thought it would go beautifully. And it is beautiful. It is not as translucent as, say, like Space Cowboy or some of the other ones that they have in their line. It does have a base color, but you stick it over something like this Chanel and it is pretty gorgeous. Like, that is crazy beautiful. I just thought, with the exception of like Lisa Eldridge, I don't know what Tower 28 is, but this video could be sponsored by Ulta because Urban Decay and Chanel and the About Face are all products that are available at Ulta, which I still find hilarious that you can get Chanel there. And I have one here in Oklahoma City that actually has Chanel, Dior, Pat McGrath, and Natasha Denona. It's like the nicest Ulta I've ever seen. I want a little more sparkle in the center, so I'm going to grab, also from Ulta, from Half Magic, the GlitterPuck, the new one in silver, which will be perfect because it's the same silver shade that's in this. I love these. If you haven't tried them, they're so shiny, and for the longest time, they just had a pink one, but last year, they kind of quietly released this silver one. I don't know if you can see how that's really amping that up. And I love how I said I was just going to put it in the center and watch. Look at this one compared to this one. It's crazy. It probably would have been much prettier had I just done what I said I was going to do. But I guess we're going to be a disco ball tonight. And then I'm going to do that on the inner third. Okay, yeah, we are Studio 54 here. Now, you could use that Chanel product to do under the line, you know, under the eyes, but I'm not that great with those. So what I'm going to do is just grab that Natasha Denona and use a similar shade and run it under my eyes. So let's see. What's the most similar? Probably the middle two. So like number 3 and number 4. So I'm going to grab number 4 and do the outer portion here just a little bit. And then for the inner one, for the inner, you know, bulk of the under eye, I'm going to do number 3, which is in the middle. I use this shade a lot. That's nice. Okay. Well, Ulta, can I get on your PR list? That would be nice. That looks really nice. This eye, I overdid it with the silver sparkles on. So I need to balance out the other one because that looks a little insane. So I'm going to grab just a little bit more of my pinky. That looks a little bit more balanced. I forgot with these GlitterPucks how a little bit goes a ton, a long way. So these are a great product though. I hope they come out with even more colors. I don't have a ton from that brand either, but what I have I've liked. Okay, and here I go tearing up. That's normal. Eyeliner. Let's grab my favorite eyeliners. Unfortunately not available at Ulta or Sephora, but they are available at Bergdorf. And I think that I had read they're now going to be at Nordstrom too, and I guess they'll be at Saks too. And then of course her website. That's the Victoria Beckham satin liners, and this one is in Smoky Quartz, which is a brownish silver color. We're saying very consistent today. It's a perfect match though. I have most of these except for like the basic black and the basic brown and stuff like that because I can get those more affordably from, you know, Pat on sale or Natasha. But as far as her colored liners and her metallic liners, nobody beats them. That looks, I do look a little bit like a disco ball, but I don't mind that. We're celebrating that tonight's my last night here. Or my last weekend here, I guess. I was getting a little over myself there. Let's grab the lash curlers. These are from Repper. My favorite moisturizer and my favorite brushes. Well, and brush cleaner. And I actually like their balancing liquid that you put on your face after you shower. Rephr's got a really cool product line. I don't have any of their face brushes because they're so expensive, but for those kind of brushes, they're actually much cheaper than some of the alternatives and better quality. So I'm going to grab my YSL. Nope, I don't want blue. You know what's going to be the third one. Don't want brown. Told you. Black, the YSL black. And this is the Lash Clash, my favorite mascara. Although it looks like the new Gucci one might be really good. But now I did see someone say that it did transfer just a little bit. I think it was Charlotte Holdcroft. Now her favorite, I think she really likes this YSL one, but she raves about Charlotte Tilbury, but you know I'm not going near that. That woman, I don't know, there's just something about her that creeps me out a little bit. It's those commercials. Darling. There's been so many new releases and January's not even over yet. I did get some of the new, not a lot, I think I got 2 of the new YSL blushes. I just wanted to compare them a little bit with the Gucci ones, and the colors I got, one was kind of like a terracotta, and then one was their nude that I love. I have it in the liquid one too. Just to see how they work. That's one area I probably don't need anything more of. And yet, that new Chanel one that's coming looks insanely beautiful. I hope it's a good formula because Chanel last year in the summer had a good blush formula in those duos that were the highlighter and the blush. But then in the one that was in the spring, it was kind of like it was half peach, half pink. And it was like part of that collection that came out with the, I'm going to try to sit on something here to make myself taller because I feel like I'm falling. Part of the collection that included the Ravage. That blush I did not like very much. It didn't have a lot of pigment, and I even had to use like a spoolie to scrape it a little bit to get pigment. So I'm hoping the one that Chanel's releasing for the summer or late spring as part of that collection has pigment. That is a beautiful collection though. Okay, this eye, I said it was a little much. It's growing on me. It's giving like Studio 54. Okay, so we've got an eye done. We've done the lids. What's next? Contour. So I'm going to grab, unfortunately not available at Ulta, so I guess my sponsorship is ending with Ulta now. My non-existent sponsorship. But I'm going to grab the Tom Ford shade in Illuminate, which is available at Sephora, or it's available at cosmetic company stores if you make a friend there that tells you when they come in. And they have some killer sales. So I'm going to grab this. Ooh, that brush is crunchy. That is clean, but it's got that thing where it's a little dry. So I'm going to be very sparing with this. Yeah, that is pigmented. I tried to go for like something softer and fluffier, but you see how that worked out. And that's also a product of just not having a proper place to let them dry here. So they get kind of stiff. Okay, but it'll work. Look, it will work. It has worked since November. This is a nice product. I prefer like the Westman Atelier or the Dior one because I like that it's in a stick form. But this is beautiful nonetheless. This is a little bit warmer than those. I probably could have, I don't know. This is intensity 1. I thought maybe at one point they had an intensity like a half. Did I dream that? I don't know. It works. It's beautiful. And I'm going to wear a blush today anyway, so it's fine. I've got my Tom Ford Glow Bronzer, and this is in number 2 Terra, which I think they might be reformulating. I really hope not, because it is a beautiful product. But it was on sale for most of the holidays at Sephora, which is always scary to me. I always talk about the stick Tom Ford bronzer, and that I really hope they're not gonna ruin it. Okay, so we need a blush. You know, over the holidays when she had her sale, I grabbed a couple more of the Pat McGrath stick blushes. I know some people who love these and others who don't. I particularly like them in the summer, but I grabbed some colors that were just kind of crazy that came out last year in an extension. So I grabbed a Divine Rose. That's a standard, but I grabbed Electric Bloom, which is pretty bold, and I grabbed Luscious Lotus, which is pretty hot pink. Let's do Electric Bloom today and see how it works out. I really hope that these, that this is not a mistake. It was a good sale though, so it's okay. I like these. I know some people who don't. Okay, yep, that one's got pigment. But if it's anything like the others, once I lay it down, I can work it in. Okay, so let's see if it works in really nicely. It does. I like these a lot. I think they're like a warhorse on stick foundation or stick blushes or cream blushes. I don't know that they're necessarily the best on the market, but they're an outstanding product nonetheless. I'm actually going to grab just a little bit more. That should tell you that how lovely they work out, because this color was intense before I did that. That's really pretty. I'm kind of excited about her new glow product. You know, the one that's going to give you the glass skin, but you know that's got to just be for like editorial and taking photos, because there's no way, like if you move your face even slightly, it's going to peel. But it's fun, and that's what we want from Pat McGrath. So I'm excited that she's kind of going back in a direction that's editorial. It started at the holidays. She gave us more color than we've had in a long time. And now this. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like that a good deal. During that Lisa Eldridge sale that she had earlier, I grabbed a new product to me. Again, I said this was new products to me. And it's the Lisa Eldridge, her liquid highlighter or luminizer. And I grabbed mine in the color Pink Moon. I don't think this is a new product by any means, but it's new to me. And I've heard raves about it. Before I do that, you know what? I'm going to go in with my, what is this called? The Dr. Dennis Gross Plump and Repair Lip. I should have done this at the very beginning. I learned this in the last video, because if it sits for about 20 minutes on your lips, it makes them so nice when you go to apply any kind of lip product. But it's only going to get like 5 or so minutes today to do that. That's okay. So, Pink Moon. I've tried to get this one before and it's been sold out a lot. But it's a beautiful pinkish colored highlighting product. And when I swatched this the other day, I was shocked at how smooth it looked. Even compared to like the Dior, this was much smoother. And kind of more subtle. Like obviously when you first put it on, It's intense, but you work it in. It does remind me a lot of the Dior, what is that called? The enhancer, like the one they just came out with in the purple. Not the star filter. Well, you know what? I would say this is a cross between, it's somewhere in between the star filter and the new the glow enhancer thing. It's more subtle, and I like that. But that's Lisa Eldridge. God, that woman makes nice products. She has a new palette coming. I hope she sends it to me in PR, because it looks beautiful for spring and summer. But even if she doesn't, she knows I'll buy it anyway. That's pretty. That looks really nice. So I got some, what do I want to do for lips? I got, you know, last year, Adept, which is like my favorite indie brand, came out with those Simplicity lip glosses in the late summer, and they were really cool for like going out or like going to a concert or something, but they were very sparkly and a little bit chunky, which would make sense for like going out. But then around the holidays, they came out with their new, what are they called? There's these. And they came out with 10 colors. And I got the set the other day because I had a coupon. And they also have their new re-release of their Minka palette, but it's extended and it looks beautiful. So I'll have that soon. That might be the first thing I shoot with the YSL blushes in the new space. But these are really beautiful. This color is called Shady Sands. So I'm just going to put it on. These are so thin and smooth. I know they're known for their eyeshadows, which are fantastic. But don't sleep on these lip glosses. They're really beautiful. And there we go. It is giving like Studio 54, but it is beautiful with new to me and new products. Well, I guess the only really new product is the new Urban Decay, and I guess you could consider these Adept lip glosses and lip masks as new. The others are just new to me products and some favorites, but that is a really cool look in my last video in this space. So when I see you next, it'll be in my new space. But I will say, it's been nice to have a space, even with the problems, to get myself settled over here and to learn more about the area. I cannot get over how beautiful that highlighter is. I won't be too hard on it, and I'll look back fondly on it and maybe even laugh one day at some of the problems that have come since I moved in. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing and shopping my links. It really helps. Unsolicited advice on Instagram and on YouTube. Thanks, and I will talk to you soon from the new house. Bye.